Alright, reunited after 20 years in 2008, all those feelings mix. What was the thing you most missed about being together and playing together?
Wow, good question. There were so many good things. Being together was a very, very important thing for us, all of us, I think. Just after not being the good old Three Musketeers for a long time. But I think playing together was really kind of solidified it all. I mean, that's what we did when we were always together, was play. And we played really well, and we had a great time. So I think that all of it was such a great experience. I can't begin to tell you how thrilling the whole thing was.
Oh, great. Well, man, Canada seems to provide great prog rock bands. Mention you, people always mention you as godfathers of prog rock and virtuoso playing. So, when you just start to emerge in the 70s and 80s, did you feel that way, that you're gonna be that way with Triumph?
Um, you know, Honestly, I never really was a person that cared for labels. Sticking a label on something. We had a little bit of everything in Triumph. We're a little prog rock, a little heavy metal, a little hard rock, a little classic rock, a little melodic rock. So it's hard to say. I mean, we were never consistent with our records from album to album. They seem to change stylistically on a regular basis.
All right. And well, this reunion thing, how did it happen? Who made it happen?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that were very influential, I guess. Number one was a guy named Neil Dixon who runs what's called Canadian Music Week, which is a big event, three-day event here in Toronto. And it's both for industry and the public. And they have a Hall of Fame, the Canadian Music Industry Hall of Fame. And Neil wanted to induct Triumph into the Hall of Fame. So, he came to Gil and I and Rick and said, I want to do this. And Rick was very resistant because he hadn't really spoken to us in almost 20 years. So, Neil just kept on him and on him and on him and saying, Rick, this is something you got to do. It's important. You can't really hate those guys forever or whatever. It just he stayed on him. And finally, Rick agreed to a meeting. And we sat down in a coffee shop and kind of tried to bury the hatchet initially, and it was a little bit awkward for the three of us, but we came out of there with a smile on our faces, and we agreed to move on and do the Hall of Fame thing. And then that went so well, and it was all exciting, and we laughed a lot, had a good time doing interviews together. So I think that was Neil was number one. And Rick's brother was dying, younger brother of a very bad cancer. And one of his last wishes to Rick was, you've got to get together with Mike and Gil. You guys were buddies and best friends for years, and this whole thing's really stupid. So I think that influenced Rick a lot too. As sad as that was.
Oh, all right, gosh. Well, do you feel like you get all the recognition you deserve after playing so many years and so many albums?
Sure. I think we're well recognized, on a worldwide basis, and our music still gets played and still sells, and that stands the test of time. Could we be recognized more? Sure. But you'll always be happy with what you got.
All right. Well, mate, coming back to all this music business and everything that's behind the industry, do you see some changes from where you left it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's an entirely different world out there on a business level for music. I'm not sure it's a good thing, and I'm not sure it's a bad thing. My jury's out. All I know is there was, I think in 1982 or 83, there was something like 3,000 albums made by rock bands worldwide. And in last year, there was something like 400,000 albums made. So it's like with the advent of Pro Tools and Auto Tune and all the technology, anybody feels that they can have a band or make a record, and that's it's I don't know. There's a lot of really bad stuff out there that should never be put on tape or on a hard drive. So I think it's hard. It's hard because of all the clutter out there for any band to really break through now. It was hard. It was hard back then. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was pure and utter luck for bands that really did make it, as well as skill and hard work and talent. But it's even. I'd say it's even tougher now. Like I would hate to be a new band, especially a new good band in the industry today. You don't have time. They don't give you time to develop. You make a record, the record company puts it out 3 weeks later. If you don't have enough airplay or enough sales, they drop you like a hot potato and say, see you later.
Oh, that's true. Well, my next question was just that, like, you're a really experienced band in this business. What advice would you give to a band that is just starting now in this business?
Oh boy, learn. Someone in the band has to be an internet wizard. As well as a musician. That's singularly, it seems like that's the most important thing right now. And of course, my always for the last 40 years of my life, when I get asked this question, I say, "Don't quit your day job."
All right. Well, Triumph.